What's going on, everyone? Happy Saturday to everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, and having a great day so far. It is time now for the Saturday weather update for Saturday, July 27th, 2024. It's been some time since we've done our recent weather update, but I do feel the need to come on and give you an update today as there is a really bad wildfire situation in the West Coast. There's a severe threat for today, and there may be some tropical activity in the near future. So we'll break all of that down for you today. If you're new to my channel, I do updates on weather as needed for the United States and sometimes anywhere around the world. Subscribe down below. Give this video a thumbs up to help push my content throughout the YouTube algorithm. Of course, share this video with anyone you know. Hit that notification bell and leave your comments down below. Alright, starting off with the wildfires, which are really bad right now in the West Coast United States. In fact, California's Park Fire now among the largest in state history as evacuation orders do continue to spread. That's right, more people are being told to be evacuated, and this fire has now burned over 307,000 acres as of early Saturday morning. And if we come down here and take a look where it ranks, it's now the 8th largest fire in state history. It's likely to continue. It'll probably at least make it up to probably top 3 at this point, as containment is very low at this time. And it says at least 134 homes and structures have been damaged or destroyed, and another 1,200 are threatened, fire officials said. So yes, this is not good, and evacuation warnings have been issued across 4 counties spanning more than 4,400 people. But it doesn't stop there. I mean, there's a lot of different wildfires going on. There's now one within the city limits of Spokane, Washington. This is coming from X, the hotshot Wake Up, and this is not good. Let's read this. There is a new start currently burning inside the city limits of Spokane, Washington. Tankers have been dropping on the Hills Fire for the last hour. This was as of 10:16 p.m. last night. Resources are on scene and responding, and it does look like this one could have been arson. We know several of these fires have been caused by arson, but also the dry weather as well. And just someone taking advantage of the dry weather, thinking they can be, I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to be, but yes, arson plus dry conditions, it's not going to end well in this situation. And please, if you're out in this area, and maybe you're someone that smokes cigarettes, please put your cigarette butts out. Do not just toss it somewhere. Conditions are dry in these areas. I'll show you that in just a moment. Taking a look at the satellite loop, check this out. You can see in the Pacific Northwest that things are really not good. You're seeing some clouds, but you're also seeing this plume of smoke in California. You're also seeing smoky conditions across Washington and Oregon. And if I could show you Canada, you would see the same there as well, because there are wildfires up in Canada right now as well. And you can actually see that on the air quality maps. The air qualities in these areas are not all that good at this time. We can see really bad air qualities going through Oregon, California, Washington, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Alberta, Canada. I mean, on and on it goes. The northern plains. Some of this smoke has made its way to the east. You can see Missouri, Nashville, Tennessee, North Carolina. That's an old boundary that sunk south. And with that, some of this smoke does remain along that corridor. There's also some bad air quality in the northeast this morning. Not quite sure what that is all about, but there was a dose of wildfire smoke in portions of the mid-Atlantic that did go southward as the front came through. But again, there is some bad air qualities there as well. Taking a look at the drought monitor map, we can see drought conditions do continue in the east too. Across portions of Virginia and West Virginia, we'll have to watch there. There could be a wildfire risk, but really, it's the Pacific Northwest. I mean, yes, it is somewhat dry. I mean, things are worse in other areas, but the conditions are ripe. There's no rain coming there anytime soon along the west coast, and you can see across portions of Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, it's dry for you as well. Four Corners region, you continue to be dry since we've done our last video, and drought conditions are present there and in West Texas. Let's take a look at the precipitation over the next 1 through 7 days, and you can see hardly any rain on the west coast. Maybe some relief for Washington. That's some good news. But California, hardly even a drop. And Oregon, the northwest portion of your state, would be the wettest area. Elsewhere, there are going to be some wet conditions across portions of the Midwest, down through the Ohio Valley into West Virginia, across portions of Florida, Georgia, and portions of Alabama. There could be a stormy pattern that sets up there. And I want to draw your attention to New England real quickly. You're not seeing a lot of precipitation forecasted for Boston, Connecticut, or portions of Rhode Island. That could potentially change all of the sudden, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Taking a look at the national picture, we can see here red flag warnings are still up for portions of the West Coast. Of course, air quality as well. I showed you the air quality meters. Let's go back to that for a second. You can see these reds, these oranges. That is really bad. Please limit your time outdoors if you are in those areas. And we do have a flooding concern that is setting up for portions of Houston along the Texas coast. There could be some flash flooding that does occur there. And we can see here, there is this disturbance that is ongoing down in that area, which is providing some heavy rainfall. Remember, turn around. Do not drown. Elsewhere, we do have this disturbance that is off the coast of the Carolinas. We're going to have to watch this disturbance. It's forming along an old cold front, and it could form into an area of low pressure. And it could track something like this, where it comes up the Atlantic and then turns back into New England. Why? Because there's a high pressure in the Atlantic. It's going to force it to go back to the west. And we also note that there is a disturbance across Missouri, St. Louis later on today. Yes, some showers are possible for you, and we do have some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast today for portions of the Dakotas. Take a look at this. You can see North Dakota probably has the best shot today, but really there is a marginal risk that does continue back all the way back into portions of Idaho, Nevada, and Utah. Yes, there could be an isolated tornado threat. Wind and hail would probably be the biggest threats for today. There is also the threat of slight risk of severe weather across portions of Minnesota as well. Day 2 tomorrow. South Dakota is the hotspot for slight risk of severe weather, with a marginal risk that extends from Kansas all the way up into portions of Minnesota. And then day 3, we'll have to keep an eye on Illinois, Iowa, and portions of Missouri, Wisconsin, and Minnesota once again. And then you do see they do have the risk of thunder across portions of Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. That's because there could be showers and thunderstorms from that disturbance that I just talked about. Speaking of tropical disturbances, that one does not show up yet on the National Hurricane Center, but there is one in the Atlantic we'll have to keep an eye on. It could make its way westward towards the Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico. You could see a tropical disturbance, and then from there, we'll have to keep an eye on it. All 3 major models, the Euro, the GFS, and Canadian, do develop this system. Of course, things are likely to change, and there is one thing that I should note. This is not as likely to develop as Beryl, though there is some potential this could develop once it gets further to the west. Conditions are not favorable at the moment, but once it gets past the Leeward Islands and maybe say Puerto Rico, well, things do become a little bit more favorable for it to develop. First off, let's go to the HERB model for today into, say, Monday. And we can see here, here's that disturbance that exits the Carolinas along that old boundary. Watch what happens with that. It does start to develop. You also do notice there are some isolated showers and thunderstorms up in the northern plains and Midwest. Some of them could be severe, isolated showers and thunderstorms down in the southeast as well. As I continue to advance this, look what happens here. Here's the area of high pressure that's to the east of New England. Look what's developing south of that. You do note there is an area of low pressure now. And as I continue to advance this low becomes a little bit more organized. What does that mean? Well, it could actually contain some wind, some heavy rainfall. It's something we're going to have to watch. Because if you look closely, let's change to satellite view, that kind of does look like the signature of a subtropical system. So who knows? We could see a subtropical system that develops pretty much out of nowhere and impact portions of New England tomorrow evening, Sunday night, into Monday. Even New York City could see some rain showers from this, and New Jersey. I don't know if it will get back far enough west to, say, Philadelphia, but hey, it's something that has to be watched. Waves could be increased along the coast. winds could go up a little bit. We're not talking major winds, but winds could go up, and of course, there is the threat of rainfall as well. Going back to radar view here, you can see here showers and thunderstorms will develop once again across portions of the plains and the Midwest tomorrow evening, and we may potentially see an MCS that tries to go towards the northeast tomorrow evening. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. If that would happen, it would be an increased risk of severe weather. Taking a look now at the GFS, and we're going to look at multiple things on the GFS. First off, here's the GFS for that potential subtropical system, and you can see it does develop just to the east of New England, and there you go. It backs its way right into the Boston area. First thing Monday morning, you would be dealing with some rain across portions of Boston. We're not talking a lot of rain, maybe upwards of an inch of rainfall at this point. And then if we advance this further, I want you to see what happens next weekend. Keep your eyes down south. Look at that. Oh, a tropical system. Yes, that's that disturbance that we're talking about. And the GFS right now does show it impacting Florida. I express extreme caution. This will likely look different on the next run. Here's what the previous run had. Previous run took it into the Gulf of Mexico. The run before that, Gulf of Mexico. You can see it's changing a lot from run to run. I'll also show you another model. Here is the Canadian model. Canadian model is much further west and shows a system heading towards Texas. A lot of time to watch this, and to be honest with you, we don't even know that this is actually going to become a named storm just yet. Currently, conditions are not favorable. It's going to take several days before conditions do become favorable in the Atlantic, but I advise you, should this become a threat, we are looking at the time frame of somewhere next weekend into the early following week. I also want to show you one more thing. Here's the 6E European for that potential subtropical system once again, because the European actually gets relatively impressive. Take a look at this. You have a defined area of low pressure, and you can see here, let's go to the 500 millibar. You can see here, this energy does get well organized. Look at that. It does come near portions of Long Island, just south of New England. We'll have to keep our eyes on this. Should this get as organized as the European is showing, well, then wind would be a little bit more enhanced. And, of course, on the northeast side, we'd have to watch. Maybe there would be an isolated tornado threat and heavy rainfall threat. Take a look here. The European does show quite a bit of rainfall with this system. It's showing anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain across portions of Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, southern Vermont, southern New Hampshire, Maine. You don't see that much rainfall, but hey, showers and thunderstorms will occur from this system Sunday evening into Monday, maybe even Tuesday morning as well, across portions of New England, as the system will quickly unwind and pretty much just weaken down to nothing over the period of time. Alrighty, want to learn more about what's going on with the climate and weather? Well, you can do that. I don't always do videos here. And when I don't, you can follow me on X at Climate Data Report. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, share this video with anyone you know, hit that notification bell, and leave your comments down below. We will have more updates probably in the coming week as needed. And of course, if this subtropical system really gets more interesting and it's something that looks like it's going to be a threat, well, then we'll do another update as soon as tomorrow. I thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all again next time. Remember, stay safe, everyone that's in the West Coast, in the path of that system. And if you're in the South, remember, just go over your hurricane preparedness list. We're not looking at a hurricane hitting you just yet, but hey, things can crop up relatively quickly. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.